I'm just gonna start with explaining the way Jess and I structure our week, and there's nothing like really fancy to it. We're just adding the way we've developed this is like adding one thing at a time, and if it works, keeping it, and if it doesn't work, taking it away, then adding another thing. Similar to how we develop the podcast, like keep what works, get rid of. Sorry, I had to burp there for a second. Keep what works and get rid of what doesn't. You know what I mean? So. I guess you could say we start our week or whatever. Our rest day is Saturday, right?
Mm-hmm.
So Saturday is when we're rejuvenating, recuperating, getting rest in. Then it moves into Sunday. Sunday, we have church in the morning. And then from there, we usually go from church to a restaurant with our laptops. And we have what we call a family team meeting. And Jess and I sit down, our FTM.
Oh.
Yeah, and once kids come into the picture, they will be a part of it too. Obviously, once they can, contribute to that sort of conversation. They're like 2 years old, and you're like, repeat the whole schedule back to me. But so we have an FTM, our family team meeting, and that usually lasts between an hour and a half to 2 hours. And we first start with an emotional check-in.
Oh, wow.
Where
I'm about to take notes.
He's taking notes. So we start with an emotional check-in, and we kind of just talk about what emotional things we want to kind of vent from the previous week. And it's a really good way for us to stay aligned and stay on the same page and just really reconnect emotionally. And she can tell me if there's anything that bothered her that I did, if there's something she's working on and going through, I can do the same back to her. And it's just and that's usually, that could be the first like 5 to 10 minutes if there's not a whole lot to talk about and nothing like new and exciting emotionally has happened in that past week. And then sometimes that conversation can last like 30, 45 minutes of just like completely checking in with each other and making sure that we're both on the same page. Then we move into, now that we're aligned emotionally, we move into structuring our week and kind of plan out our whole week. So the two things that we do there is we give, which is obviously going to be different for everyone, but we kind of get our list together for what we need our assistant to do. Well, first we like schedule our week and kind of put our to-do list together and what we're trying to do, come up with our YouTube video idea for that week, whatever, those types of things that we need to get done. And personally as well. What double dates are we going on this week? I don't know. Am I getting coffee with someone? Just making sure everything is on the schedule and we're both on the same page about it, because then we're not throwing each other off. I know what she's doing. It's in the calendar. I know what I'm doing. She knows what I'm doing. It's in the calendar and we're both aware of it. Then we look at the calendar again and we put together a list for our assistant and go, okay, what workload can she take off of us?
Yeah.
And then we create a list for our assistant. And then that leads us. Then we basically start approaching like that. That usually ends probably by like 2, like 12 to 2 or like 1 to 3. We usually have that. And then by the end of the last half of the day in the evening, afternoon, evening, we kind of get to smaller work things if we need to. Sometimes we will take that time off if we don't have a heavy load, but we'll, it could be Jess needs to edit a little bit of a video, so she sits down and does that, or I don't know, I need to organize some stuff in my office or whatever it is. So that's Sunday afternoon. Then we get into the week, and at 9 a.m. we start with our Monday meeting, which is with our assistant, where we unload what the whole week looks like with her and give her her whole strategy and to-do list for the week and all the things that she needs to be getting done and helping us with, and kind of going through our whole week and what that looks like. So the whole entire team is on the same page.
Yeah. And
then from there, it really, then from there, every week kind of looks different, but it is, Tuesday, I like the things that are mostly solid are like Tuesdays are Jess and I's vlog day. So we know that on Tuesdays, that's when we're filming our video. Thursdays for me, and a lot of this was developed out of an ideal week, creating an ideal week, which I'll get to in a second. But Thursdays are now like my meeting day, because a lot of the other days I need to focus on creative stuff. Or if I have meetings spread throughout the week and like random phone calls and stuff like that, I'm actually going to get nothing creative done, because when I'm working on and Zach, like if you're writing a song or working on an edit, the phone or any sort of call or any sort of meeting will distract you like nobody's business. And even if you have the same amount of time, 3 hours in one chunk where you're just attacking that one project versus 3 hours split up through like 4 or 5 different chunks of time split up by calls and stuff is so much less efficient.
Mm-hmm.
And so what I've done is I try and stack all my phone calls and meetings and everything on Thursdays. And that is on that. And my assistant knows she has free reign. If there's an open window on Thursday to schedule something in on the calendar, she can put it in without asking me.
Yeah.
She knows that day is there to stack all that in. So going back to what I talked about with the ideal week, this sort of thing has been scheduled out on, I was given the advice of create what I want my week to look like. And then try and adapt your week to what you think you want your week to look, what you want your week to look like. And then from there, keep what works and change what doesn't. So my ideal week in that little system, I think I found a really good groove for now, but it's always changing. And I've developed this week multiple times, just changing it and developing it. And I mean, another practical thing is every morning, 10 a.m., I have emails and updates, and I have that with my assistant. So at 10 a.m., I have emails and updates where we sit down. She unloads me. She has all my email accounts, and she kind of unloads all the information, all the emails, what I need to do. I respond to people all within that like 30 minutes to an hour time block. I get back to everyone. That's what I do. Then I don't worry about emails for the rest of the day.
That's good.
Wow.
I don't, because the emails are my worst enemy and distract me from what I'm trying to do. So I try not to touch emails after that. But if there's something really important, Victoria knows that she can come to me or call me and say, like, hey, this is urgent. You need to get to this.
Yeah.
But I don't have to go on my emails and look at anything. And I know this is like, it's going to be so different for everyone, but the idea is there, I think, with like developing something, especially if you're married and you have a family, to being on the same page with, even if you don't work together, just being on the same page. Your family is a team, and you need to be organized to attack life correctly and attack life together, arm in arm, not completely separated on different ideas of what you think your life is going to look like and your schedule is going to look like. So that's where I'm going to wrap that up, because I just kind of like talked for an hour and a half.
It makes me feel like your main goal is to happen to life versus letting life happen to you.
Yeah.
Right. That's what it's kind of comes down to.
Exactly. Thank you guys so much for watching this clip. We appreciate it so much. And if you could leave a like and subscribe to the channel, that would help out so much. And if you want to listen to the full podcasts, just head over to the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.